Yeah, mate.
Good evening, everyone. G'day, Ray.
How are you?
Good, mate. Good.
Oh,
We're live, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
yeah.
What have we got?
Yeah.
How many hundred we got standing by? 600 waiting, Ray.
Have
Jeepers.
we? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
G'day, Rick. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us. We just had one of our friends, one of our followers on this channel, and people we follow. Dad and Dave was going to have a show on at the same time, and I think Jay might have got in contact with him, and he's pulled his show, unfortunately, but we'll catch him soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
G'day, Roo. How are you, mate? Good to see you, Kangaroo. Old mate, thanks for joining us.
Okay, good old mate. There you go, old mate.
Yeah, we haven't
Buddy.
haven't heard from Dad and Dave for a long time. Steve Morris, good day, sir.
There you go,
Yes,
Steve.
all's well, thanks, Steve, with the family.
Yeah. You haven't seen much of bloody Dave come up on Facebook, YouTube for a while.
Who's that?
Well, I haven't seen much of Dave come up. Dave come up on YouTube for a while.
No, I think he's been away on an extended holiday, I think,
Oh,
Ray.
yeah.
He's been on an extended holiday overseas. He's put up a few vids.
I
G'day, Henry. How are you, mate?
We got Henry. Steve. Yeah, it's been bloody. Yeah, he's been. Well, not hasn't been Thailand bloody hot here, but hot enough. Bloody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't bloody have a shower until later on. Too bloody hot. Whoop, hang on, bloody wrong button on my remote.
Hey there, mate, Bart. Hey, mate. Hey, Ray, did you see what's happening up in the Darling River in New South Wales?
No.
Oh, they had all the floods up there recently, and apparently all the the water's gone. All the floods have receded.
Yeah.
What happens is, in that circumstances, all the floodwaters, drag nutrients and a lot of refuse into all the the streams,
Yeah.
and there's a lack of oxygen in all
Oh
the
yeah.
rivers in the
Yeah.
Darling River, and
Yeah.
it's killing millions and millions of fish.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell. What?
absolutely millions of. I've seen it reported a couple of times on the ABC today, but
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. Looks like they've
Yeah.
all been just poisoned.
Yeah.
Millions of fish, but
Well,
mainly native fish. Apparently the
uh,
koi is the
uh,
koi fish. And the carp. I mean, the
yeah.
carp. They're surviving it.
Yeah. They got Monty Bart. They got so.
Yeah, get over
Yeah.
yourself.
The bloody. Yeah, I think a lot of that bloody water, Darling River, and the bloody. A lot of that's been like the sort of water's a commodity these days, and a lot of those big bloody farms, sort of thing, foreign-owned farms, are getting dibs on the bloody water. Could be
Yes.
backwater out of the big bloody because you don't know what the hell they're doing. But you do get that sort of thing. When it's a sort of a natural thing. Sometimes the bloody oxygen, like I don't know.
Well, I think you're on the money there, Ray. It's not a first, but um, they haven't seen it in such great numbers as this. Like
Yeah,
if you've got whole tracks of the river, it's just they're just totally inundated with dead fish floating on top of of the river. And
well, that
is it Menindee? Up where it's all happening in Western New South Wales.
I've
They
got to
reckon
look.
the stench is absolutely incredible.
Well,
You
the
know,
bloody that fracking, it's not good either. It bloody it kills the bloody earth as well too. There's spots on the parts on the bloody Murray and the Darling River where you can throw a match on, fucking it catches fire.
oh Jesus!
And bloody yeah, I don't know. They reckon that fracking like all. I got a lot of family got farms, and they're man, they just rot against it. Just no, it's not good thing. Just fucking they're fucking too much of nature. They're thinking they can just go in there and just help themselves to a sort of thing. You got no say on your land. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't understand 100%. There you go, Big W.
Hey there, mate. G'day, Big Dubs. It's I was astonished, looking at the report, and that's when I could get my eyes off Marion Saab. She's on this weekend. She's doing a report, and God, she's a honey. She's the ABC newsreader. Oh God, she looks like modern day Morticia Adams. She's a absolute, good sort. She is, pouting red lips on her. God, she's a stunner. Where's the hair tied back? But she's on this weekend, and I couldn't believe it. Millions and dead fish.
That's pretty grim, eh?
I don't know about taking your buckets down, Joe. They reckon the smell's putrid.
Oh, it'd be rancid.
Yes, Rick Nelson. I've read that about the water rights. I've read that in the past. All the streams upriver. They collar all the the water first for cotton. They say cotton's one of the most inefficient crops. For the consumption of water, and they're all upstream.
There's a big stick about that in bloody in America years ago, because they used to grow hemp. They used to use it for textile. Anyway, the documentary I watched anyway, I think the bloody bloke in charge of all that is his brother-in-law had like a big cotton farm sort of thing, and he was the cotton was in direct competition, but with the cotton, they had to use DDT and all those sorts of poison to bloody keep all the bloody bugs and shit off it, but with the hemp, they didn't have to. Anyway, then they sort of demonized the bloody hemp, so that, was one of the reasons they demonized it all. Plus, people were smoking the shit, selling it, making money, and the government wasn't making any money out of it. They weren't real happy with it either, because, there's one of the documentaries I saw, there was a church from down around Jamaica, and that they used to bring shiploads of it up here. They used to smoke it and sell it and stuff. People were having a good old time with it. And the bloody government come in and said, "Hey, we're not making a cop out of this." So I think a lot of that's to do with the demonisation of it all.
Yeah, well, I have read in the past about about that. Who was the major company that used to produce hemp? Was it DuPont? I think they had all the. I think it was DuPont. They had all the rights over hemp. For rope making and materials.
Yeah, right.
They had the monopoly of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. But you're talking 100 years ago, aren't you? Back in the 1920s.
Oh yeah. To think 100 years ago was in the 1920s. When we're in the 1970s was only 50 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's right. Amazing, isn't it? I read the other day it was 50 years, the 50-year anniversary of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon coming out.
Yeah.
I thought, my God, I remember almost specifically to the day when it came out. That was a revolutionary record, wasn't it?
It's still one of my favourites. I listen to it all the time.
Oh, it's a great song. I've got some of the songs written in a poem up on the wall here.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, the thing about Pink Floyd, Ray, that was in all the time of synthesized music, wasn't it?
Exactly.
But they didn't. So that all their music they produced was all by naturally made. They didn't use synthesizers. They all played instruments.
Remember that movie Walt Disney made in 1940 called Fantasia?
Oh yes.
Yeah, well they invented multi-track sound systems for that movie.
Yes.
I remember watching a documentary about that one too. And I thought, oh yeah, that's one of my favourite. I've lost count how many times I've watched that. I used to love it when I was a kid. I couldn't turn it off. Every time it was on TV, we never had video. We never had videos and stuff back then.
I used to play it for my used to watch a lot of my daughter
Yeah,
many years ago. I had it on a CD, and I thought, oh, it was a good way to introduce her to classical music.
yeah,
But we sometimes still talk about it. When we used to watch Fantasia, sort of
yeah,
almost used to be a regular on a Saturday night.
yeah,
But it was magnificent animation.
yeah. Yeah, no, I loved it. I suppose Mum used to listen to classical music anyway, but that sort of give me my thing for classical music. I love listening to it.
Yes, exit to Thailand. I'm going to go in shortly, and we'll catch up with it, mate. Me beloved D's are on tonight, mate.
What's that? What are you team?
Yeah, beloved
Oh,
Melbourne. Yeah.
yeah, right. Nah, the bloody
Thanks for
yeah,
joining us, exit.
yeah, it's bloody I was gonna say yeah, I haven't done much the last couple of days around here, man. It's just been too bloody hot going outside.
Oh yeah, well, I was speaking with Pete yesterday. He was dreading today. He starts up his club starts up the footy season today, and he wasn't looking for a hot day to play sport, but he said, "Oh, the
Yeah,
worst is the wind. We've had a bit of wind down here today too. A few
yeah,
fires, actually, a couple of fires.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and did you hear the other latest? They've what is it? The International Law Court, International, what is it? Court of Law. They've got a warrant of arrest out for Putin
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
for war
Yeah,
crime. That's
yeah.
interesting. Like he'd be landlocked now, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't really see him, buddy. Seeing that one through, but he's I don't know. Look, he's hard to get at. He's got that Wagner group. That Wagner group are his own personal basically he's bloody personal mercenaries protection sort of thing. They're over there. Now he's got them over there in Ukraine fighting over there too. They're pretty they're pretty bloodthirsty people. What I've heard.
Oh, I think he's just scoffing at it at the moment. I think he's right in his own country, but
Yeah,
and that President Xi, he's coming over to see him. They've got some conference or talks on at the moment, but
yeah,
you know, I was wondering, say if Putin goes to travel, he goes to on some diplomatic mission to another country. What do they do? Do they arrest him when he gets off the plane, or
oh, yeah,
like I
yeah,
don't think he'll be traveling too far in the near future, I imagine,
yeah, exactly.
because like those charges don't go away. Like
No,
it's an international war crime.
well,
Yeah.
they're on him about that bloody flipping that bloody these warplanes flipping that bloody drone as well.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's
Well.
the class as a warplane. So that's an act of bloody that's an act of aggression against bloody sovereignty of the country, based sort of thing. Like they could all, well, not that the fucking US would do much about it with who's in there at the moment, but still.
It was amazing footage, of them, capturing that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Amazing
tried to
footage.
do the bloody thing, and then they bloody hit it with the wing, hit the prop in the wing apparently.
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, like it was a drone that they hit. Strange looking things. Those drones, aren't they? Like
Yeah, they are.
like strange looking things. But this looked like a jet fighter came real close and let go. What was it? A ton. I think it said a ton of fuel.
Yeah, fuel. Yeah, try to drown it. Drown
Yeah.
the engine. Well, they didn't work, so they ended up dropping it, into the bloody ocean.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
real. See what Kanga just wrote.
Only if he lands in a country who recognise the international court. Yes, that's right, Kanga. Yeah, but that's most countries, isn't it? Most countries recognise the International Court of Law, wouldn't it? I'm only guessing. That's what I presume.
Oh, it's bloody, you would turn the TV on, like, you t- what's the name of that bloody Fox News? They go a little bit too far, sort of thing. They're bloody, any time of the day you can see a dozen different bloody stories about the same bloody thing. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah,
you get the bloody CNN, and that was just way too left. Like I was saying to someone a while back, the way things are now, you got the left's way too left and the right's way too right. You got to sort of get somewhere in the middle to make any sense.
yeah. Well, what a crazy world we live in, Ray.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Crazy world we live in. Hey there, TG Instant. No, long time no see, mate.
Oh, how you going, TG?
Haven't seen him around for a while.
Oh, Zimmy, how you going, Zimmy?
Zimmy joined us. Oh yes, g'day, Zimmy. Hey there, mate. Let's have a look at this other screen up here. Oh God, what a funny. Here we go. Don't know where the cat is, Ray. I think she's in the lounge room. She came in here, she started walking over all the keyboards. I threw her out.
I'm watching that bloody one with that dude riding around, that Scottish dude with his little cat he found in bloody Bosnia,
Yes, yes.
Making a good dollar out of that bloody state channel, pays for his travels, I suppose, the bloody cat's got a good life. He absolutely adores his little cat.
Oh, good luck to him.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. To be honest, I've never been a rat for cats all my life. I used to have this girlfriend and she had a couple of cats, and I came home pissed one night and had I must have been after work and had a suit on, and I had this grey pure wool 3-piece Italian suit.
Oh,
instead of hanging it up, as you sort of threw it in the corner of the room. I woke up in the morning and there's a fucking cat's head. Had half a dozen kittens all over me grey pure wool fucking suit. Ever since then I've had a set on cats. But boy, he wanted one for Christmas, and we got this little girl, and she's been great for the fucking household. She's been absolutely great.
It keeps on your toes.
Oh, I'm always saying, where's the cat? Where's the cat? But I still wake up in the morning, look out the window, I'm looking for my dog. I still miss her.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it's like. You've had dogs all your life too, Ray.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Steve Morris is in Kaohsiung, Taiwan.
Oh, yeah. He's around,
Going back home to Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you have a safe trip, Steve. You have a safe trip. Actually, no, Steve lives in Arizona. Next time I catch up with you in Thailand, Steve, I might ask you to do me a favour. Do me a favour. I've got a mate who lives in Arizona. I might give you a present or something, to take over to him. A very dear friend who I've befriended from YouTube many, many years ago. I've got a lot of time for him, a bloke called Alan Crosby. He was he was in New York on the day of the 7/11 when 7/11 happened. Here's our mate. G'day, Michael Barnett.
The camera.
Oh, I put him on too early. He'll come back in.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, my mate Alan Crosby. He was there on that 9/11. When the Twin Towers came down. He reckons, he lost several mates that day. That's enough to break any man. Yeah. Sorry, not 7/11, 9/11. 7/11. 9/11. Yes, mate. Yeah. 7/11. 9/11. Yeah. I remember that night.
He made it one way. He said, quick, well, please fucking started. And I got up and had a look and I was going, shit. I was watching it when the second tower got hit. I'm on the phone waking everybody up, eh? G'day, Matt. G'day, Matt.
Good on you, Steve Morris. I'm not sure if he's a drinker, Steve. I'm not sure if my mate's a drinker. I think he's a bit of a teetotaler, actually. But a wonderful man, Alan Crosby. You know, absolutely wonderful, wonderful man. But he reckons he couldn't work another day. You know, broke him that day. You know, it's saying what happened. You know, but he was one of the first responders. He was on duty at the time when the towers came down.
Terrible.
Yeah. I was for some reason I was up that night watching TV. I had insomnia at the time, and I was watching this on TV, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Is this a movie or is this real?" You know?
It looks surreal, didn't it?
Yes. I said, "You know, is it really?" I said, "This is happening," and then bang! Next thing you know, an aeroplane flies through the side of one of the towers. And say, "You're kidding me?" You know. I thought, what do I have to smoke? I couldn't believe it. Oh, he's married, Steve. He's married. He's married since, and he moved from New York to Arizona. You know, he cashed in all these entitlements, and he moved to Arizona and bought himself a new car. Got a lot of time for that man. I'll make my business, sometime in my life to get over there and see him.
I reckon Trump bloody paid a lot of bloody what do they call them, scientists to check out DNA, to identify a lot of the bodies.
Yes, Ray. Yes.
I've seen something about that.
That was one of those world events where you remember exactly where you were. You'll never forget it. Like, so, you're the same age. Do you remember where you were when President Kennedy died?
Not so much then, but I do when bloody Elvis died.
Yes, yeah, righto. There's another one.
Yeah.
When Princess Diana died, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember where it was when she had that royal wedding? It was up at the Bondi Hotel, actually. Yeah. Remember that night?
Yeah. That was bloody there's only a few times I can sort of remember exactly what I was doing or where I was. But yeah,
that was going up in the 70s, isn't it, Ray? You know, like if you remember much went on in the 70s, you weren't having much of a good time, were you?
Yeah, well, remember the 70s. That's when Elvis died too. He died in 77, wasn't it? I remember.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Yeah. A massive shock to the world that was.
Yeah, it was.
Such a brilliant talent,
Oh man, he had talent to fucking burn. He was good.
Magnificent voice. You're like you listen to not necessarily his rock and roll songs, but some of these old classics he used to sing. Just absolutely beautiful. What bass baritone voice he had?
Yeah, well, he used to sing a lot of gospel blues, bluegrass, fucking you name it. Rock and roll, but you name it, fucking. He sang, like his voice never let him down once, not even right up towards the end, never let him down. That's what they said about him. And I don't know. That bloody Tom Parker, I reckon, held him back way too much. Got him in those corny fucking. Hang on, Joe.
We'll let Joe on. Here we go, mate. How are you, mate?
There you go, mate.
Yeah, he's right now. It looks like hot. It looks like Joe's putting on a bit of pork there.
84.3 or something.
You put on a bit of weight then, Joe.
Yeah, 83. I think when we last met, I was probably around 82.
Oh, still right.
Oh, well, that's still right, mate. That's not too bad. How's your week been, Joe?
I've been in Chunterbury. Just got back fucking half an hour ago.
Go on, keep sucking those things into your head. They'll do good for you. Keep sucking them in. Go on. Go on, drag it up for me, will you? I broke out recently myself, Joe. Broke out, and gave him a bit of a belt for a week or so, then gave him up again.
Yeah.
I'm all right when they're not around. I won't go down the shop and buy a packet, but like I'm over them. I've had my whack of smoking in my time.
Yeah, I've always said I'd give up when I've had enough of them, like I'm sick of them, or the doctor tells me, hey, you're starting to get a bit of fucking,
Yeah, I have an oxygen machine, so that was pretty good motivation for me to fucking get up.
yeah.
Like that. That was fucking off. I never felt so bad in my life. I could barely walk the length of a car at that time because I just wasn't getting any oxygen in my lungs. And they're not
Well,
100. I take steroids and shit the rest of my life for my lung.
I actually went and saw a doctor last week
Yeah,
just for fucking head to toe checkup and
yeah,
bloods and all that sort of shit.
yeah.
And that
I mean,
was and that was it was a good experience. It was in a public government hospital. But I'll give it a go and see how bad it is. If it's really bad, then I'll go private. Otherwise, we'll see what happens. But it was pretty easy.
how long would it take to get your results back, Joe?
They could have given them to me right away, or within an hour or two if I had gone there in the morning. But because I went in after 4, they said, we can't have them today. You can probably get them back by tomorrow. But my doctor wasn't on again until this coming Monday. So I said, just fucking pencil it in for this coming Monday. So I'm back again on Monday.
I remember when my first wife, she thought she was pregnant, and we're in Thailand at the time. And she went off to the hospital and had blood tests and everything. And, they came back and they took the test, and within an hour, they had the results, and they said, told us everything, what date the baby would be born, how many days pregnant she was, what she needed to do, blah, 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 first pregnancy, of course. And, that was all back within an hour, and all those tests and the consultation, and the blood tests came to, I think it was 360 baht or something at the time, which was, it was just on, close on $20, at the time, Yeah,
I paid, I think 1,900 baht.
You can't afford that.
Well, now they got rid of that bloody, what do you call that? What do you call it? When you don't have to pay when you go there. What do they call that?
What, Medicare?
No, when you go bulk billing, then they'll stop bulk billing for a lot of people, unless you're on unless you got just on a pension. It's like $75 for a visit.
Well, you got to pay back the fucking vaccines, mate. The government signed a contract for what was it? 250 million or something. It was like fucking 11 vaccines per person per capita. Well, you got to pay for the fuckers.
Doctors haven't had a pay increase in over 10 years.
Who's that?
In over 10 years. Imagine, everyone else in society, they hadn't had a pay increase in 10 years.
Imagine if politicians didn't have a pay rise for 10 years.
Oh, don't talk about it. I've got to vote again soon. That, what's his name? That Tooge. He's resigned, and he's the local member for this electorate here. We've got to vote again. I think in a week's time. We've just had a federal election. We've got to vote again.
Yeah, God. When you say that you went to the hospital, I get every time somebody says they're going to a bloody Thai hospital, I get that joke comes into my head about the little Thai nurse comes up and is feeling your testicles, says, "Oh, it's perfectly normal if you get an erection." He said, "Well, I haven't got an erection," and then she says, "Oh, but I have." And every time somebody mentions the Thai hospital.
G'day, Rich Free. Welcome.
G'day, mate. How are you? How many hundred we got looking at us now?
150.
100, what, 1,500? Oh, very good.
Oh man, it's bloody. I just got no motivation doing it. It's bloody just no monkey here at the moment. Fuck. But anyway, you get too old for this shit. Too unfit. Don't try.
So who's this Tooge guy?
He's the local member. You know,
Okay.
he's the yeah, that's right. He resigned because of sexual harassment case of a staff member. He was a Liberal minister, and he had to resign. And he got re-elected. And I think when the Libs didn't get in, he's handed his resignation. But he was a minister. Yeah, but yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right, Sol. He was the minister for, was it education at one stage, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And immigration.
He touched the check.
Immigration. Yeah.
How dare he? How dare he act like a man?
Oh, yeah. Got cool. Yeah.
A bit like that Trump. They want to indict him for that Stormy Daniels or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And he's such a bad person. Orange man bad. He likes women. Oh, how dare he?
Yeah, it's a joke, isn't it?
That was 15 years ago. Wasn't she trying to fucking blackmail him or some bloody thing? I don't know what the fuck.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, she was trying to actually blackmail him, and he's paid her off, a bit of silence money, and now they're going to indict him over that.
Oh,
yeah, apparently it's going to happen within the next couple of weeks or something.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
They're going to indict him on that. They've tried everything else. And nothing has stuck.
Oh,
So,
for fuck's sake. They're just trying their hardest to make sure that all this is because he said he's going to run again. That's all it's for.
they want to stop him from running, but they better be careful. They better be careful, because if Trump's not available, fucking DeSantis will be. Yeah. If they think they're going to have it easy with DeSantis, I think they're in for a fucking rough ride.
Yeah, well, that fucking, that other guy, that had the big thing on the back of his neck, had the bloody stroke or some bloody thing. What was his name? Fetterman.
Oh, that Fetterman, yeah.
Yeah, well, they reckon the Democrats only just got in, by a couple of votes. Yep. But anyway, he's in the bloody nut house at the moment because of severe depression. He can't do his job, so what the fucking hell aren't they just replacing him if he's not doing his job? They're keeping that one quiet, apparently.
Well, what about Kamala? She's not doing her job either. What about Biden? He's not doing his job.
It's this bloody equity shit, like they're just giving bloody people jobs unless, if you're gay or you're black, you get the job. No questions asked. What the fuck's that all about, And now it's all about bloody... fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. But anyway, all this woke shit's got to stop. It's got to stop eventually. If DeSantis gets in, it's going to come to a screaming halt.
Yeah, well, he's made moves in Florida. No mandated vaccines, no mandated fucking masks, and any company that tries to enforce them will be fucking sued.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, Trump gets back in there, they'll shit themselves because he'll be on the warpath. I can sort of see that a mile off, but I don't know whether it's the best thing. I think DeSantis, because it's just going to be a mad riot like last time.
Yeah.
But they need to start doing shit with these fucking riots and Antifa and all that sort of shit, fuck me.
Well, Trump runs your bolt in, won't he?
Well, he's the favourite at the moment. All polls are leading to him winning quite easily. Even up against DeSantis.
Yeah, well, they had that bloody Twitter and all that sort of shit. All this fucking, suppression of bloody free speech and all this sort of shit. I think they're
that's all. That's all coming out, but the mainstream media or mainstream fucking propaganda media, they just won't cover that shit.
No, they won't.
So So the majority of the sheep have got no fucking clue what's happening.
No, exactly.
There's all the Congress hearings and the select committee hearings and shit. They now have proof that the Biden family are involved in taking money from China and shit. They've got all the financial records and crap. But what's going to come of it? These assholes, they'll get away with it.
Of course it will. They need to get fucking grubs out like that. What's that fucking idiot looking over his glasses all the time? That bloody Chuck Schumer. Fuck me, when Biden was signing one of those bills that time, and he was sitting in the back, just big smile, rubbing his fucking hands on, all these trillions of fucking dollars, and all the money they take. My sister lives over there, and she's a total fucking Democrat supporter sort of thing, And I said, have you opened your eyes yet? She still won't fucking. Well, it's all Trump's fault. I said, well, they haven't been in there for 2 years. They've had 2 years to fucking fix everything up, and they haven't done it. So open your fucking eyes, will you? She still won't fucking do it, But anyway.
368 billion for subs. Oh yeah, in Australia, you're talking about the nuclear subs.
Yeah,
Do you want to see a critique on that? Keating was interviewed by that ABC reporter Laura Tingle at the National Press Club last Tuesday, and she was asking, and Keating was making specific reference, to the purchase of these submarines, and he just ripped, the idea of buying these submarines apart, because he instituted the Collins class submarines with Kim Beazley, when he was in office in 95. And they've been, performing, doing the job, surveilling Australia's coast, since that time. But they're getting a little bit old now, and they're going to be, superseded soon with the introduction of these new nuclear submarines. But he just ripped the whole idea apart. Now, I highly recommend, if anybody's interested in it, to check it out. It's on the ABC. It's on YouTube. The ABC on YouTube. They've got the actual interview with Laura Tingle and Keating. And Keating's well into his 80s, but he's sharp as a tack. How he totally destroys why Australia should buy these subs. He reckons it's an absolute waste of money, and he reckons it's totally ridiculous. He said this is only for 3 submarines, of which only one can be at sea at a time. And he said they're not suitable. They're not suitable for surveilling our coast because they're too big, because of the nature of the continental shelves around Australia. They're too big to surveil close in Australian waters. And he said they're essentially there as an extra arm for the Americans, an extra arm for the Americans in the South China Sea. And he said, their worth to Australia is limited.
G'day, Kel. Kel's working at the moment. He'll rewatch later on.
Good on you, Kel.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking crazy that I think they should let the bloody the military make the decisions on what they need to the fucking politicians.
Yeah, but the politicians are the ones that make the decisions that require military response, don't they? So.
But sometimes, it's like somebody walking up and just saying, well, I need a fucking ball-peen hammer to do a job. And, a politician gets involved, and they come in with a fucking 40-pound one. You know what I mean? But the other ones, all I needed was a 5-pound, so to speak. You know what I mean?
G'day, Lux Report. Thanks for joining us, mate.
G'day, Lux.
Yeah, so
I'd highly recommend this interview with Keating Oh,
Yeah,
geez,
check it
every
out.
question he was answered, and some of the reporters he ripped apart. Like asking his questions. He's virtually, he said to one reporter, he said, "You should hang your head in shame." If the article you wrote in the Sydney Morning Herald the other day, and he ripped the living daylights out of this reporter, made him look like a school kid.
Yeah.
And he's saying to him, you should hang up your pen and turn your back and never show your face again. The most dreadful prejudiced article he's ever read, in his 50 years of politics.
Yeah.
And Keating got up and he said, this decision has been the worst decision of an Australian government since World War II. It's not a bad rap, is it? No.
No kidding.
G'day, Frank. Welcome. Zimmy, I haven't been here for 3 or 4 days. Coming back into Bangkok on a Saturday doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it's there. You can see it, but it was pretty bad before I left for Chantaburi. The smog, that is.
They can barely bloody see, some of those places in China, driving down the bloody highway, they've got their bloody headlights on in the middle of the day and they can barely see anything. The bloody smog.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. It's not just, the traffic in Bangkok. The smog is not, attributed to, too many fucking cars and bikes and buses on the road in Bangkok. The shit comes from all around Southeast Asia. Cambodia does a lot of fucking burning. Up north they're still burning off the sugar cane and shit.
Yes, old mate, that was a good comment. Yeah, old mate. Not to mention Penny Wong's comment about foreign policy. All you have to do is wear a lei and hand out wads of cash to the Pacific Islands.
Yeah,
the third one.
Yeah, 1940. I'm aware of that. I think most of the people here are. Frank used to be, formerly 1940.
1940's been around a long time, gentlemen. Long time.
Yep.
Yeah. Old buses. What old buses?
Yeah, the old buses, they have, the BMA or the Bangkok government have purchased quite a few new buses. They're all, hitting the streets. So, but a lot of the old buses are actually, run by private companies.
Yeah.
What is that?
Little bloke singing.
I think they bloody cancer buses, aren't they? The local.
Sorry, say that again. You broke up.
I think they're not buses, just the council buses for the locals, basically.
Yeah. Local buses, yeah.
Yeah. What do they still go?
Fucking when you pull up beside those old ones, the majority of them, they've got to have fucking half a ton of fucking bog in them.
Oh, they're big and clanging away. Do
they still have the bloke hanging on the end of the bus? It screams out, "Bye!" Like you've got someone sort of climbing on the bus. They're sort of halfway on, and this bloke at the end of the bus screams out, "Go!" in Thai. And the bus driver shoots off. Plants the foot, and you're just you're halfway up the stairs, and hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I haven't seen that for a long time, but they used to have a driver and then a bloke at the end of the bus used to scream out, "Go!" It used to be funny to watch.
Yeah, they're only cheap anyway, I suppose. The locals are happy. I think anyone can get on them, can't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I presume I presume so. I'm not a bus person, but
Me neither. I don't get on. I don't get on bus. I'm spoiled. I'd rather get a taxi or some bloody thing or jump on the BTS.
Last time I saw 1940. No, last time I saw Trevor saw Joe in Bangkok. That's the last time I caught up with Trevor, I think. It was at Steve Morris that night too.
Yeah, BTS, good like around. I like it.
and it's forever expanding. It'll continue expanding for years to come. The BTS.
Oh yeah.
So you've got the BTS, the MRT, the SRT, the monorail. Yeah, I think it's a few major cities in Australia could probably learn a thing or two from what's going on here in Bangkok.
Then you got the clogs as well too. Around.
Yeah, well, with the Klongs, they're actually introducing electric boats as well.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I remember in the 90s, Joe, when they started to introduce the sky rails and the public transport systems, upgrade in Bangkok. And I was thinking, I thought, why don't we do something like that, in Victoria or in New South Wales? I think Sydney had the monorail, at the time, and that was sort of revolutionary. Not that ever took off, but I thought, oh, why don't we do something like that? Well, now if you look at Thailand nowadays and how much it's benefited, the city, and how much it's used, and we're still using trams in Melbourne, 100-year-old trams we're still using. It's the most ridiculous public transport, system. My son catches a train to school, and at the moment, on the train line, they're upgrading one station. So I think for 3 stations each side of it, they've closed down the using buses. So he's got to leave home an hour earlier of a morning. He leaves home at 6:30 in the morning, to get to school at 8:30 in the morning. And he catches the train, about I think 8 or 10 stations. Then he jumps off, catches the bus. The bus takes him to another station after a half an hour, 40-minute ride, and then he's going to jump on the train again. Travel another 8 or 9 stations, jump off, change trains, and then catches another train to South Yarra, and then he's got to walk to school. It takes him 2 hours to get to school of a morning, the poor little bugger. Yeah.
Fucking, my cousin runs that company that moves people around in the buses. He does it all.
Ridiculous.
He's made a fortune out of that job. But
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Sydney's got the light rail, or what they call the light rail. They're introducing that into well, not introducing, it's already there. It was, I think they started, maybe 5 years ago or something. Could be wrong. But the problem with trams and light rail is they take up too much fucking space.
And they're fixed.
Well, compared to the BTS, where they call it the SkyTrain for a reason. It's up in the air. It's elevated off the the roads are still there. You still got access via buses and taxis and cars and trucks and But with the light rail and trams, they take up too much area of the road.
They run into people. People run into it. That's what's happening down Surfers Paradise. They got a light rail tram system down there now. They only just put it in, and they're always running into people. People running into that, or they people sitting there. And they've got to stop the fucking thing for them to get out of the way. It's just a pain in the ass.
But BTS works well, and it works efficiently because the trains are only 5 minutes apart, if that.
Exactly.
Quite often it's less than 5 minutes. I've often, where I had the shop a few months ago, I'd often have a cigarette, and I could see across Chatuchak, and I could see the BTS line in front of us,
Yeah.
and quite often the trains would have to pull up because they were waiting for one in the station. So it was happening every three minutes, I reckon. There was a train every 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, they run really quick. Some of the bloody stations, I like the idea they got those glass screens too, you know, so people can't jump on the tracks and stuff. Get electrocuted.
Or get pushed onto the tracks.
Yeah, well, that happens too, you know.
Well, that happens in America, doesn't it? In the subway, there's been quite a few incidences where people get pushed onto the tracks.
Yeah. Would be pretty. But yeah. You say any government for that matter, Kanga, they can't see past the next election. That's a long-term thing.
And the high-speed rail is coming.
What? Which one? What, in Thailand?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, that's been coming for a while. They're still talking about the high-speed rail between Melbourne and Sydney. They've been talking about that for the last 50 years that I can remember. There's still no further growth. It's a joke. Of course, there should be a high-speed rail between Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. You know, like the size of our country.
At the moment, it's taking me three and a half to 4 hours to get from Bangkok to Chantaburi driving. Once the high-speed rail is done, I can go from Bangkok to Chantaburi in just over an hour.
That's what you do, wouldn't you?
I reckon that's what I could be doing. I'll just have a car based here in Bangkok and a car based in Chantaburi. I'll just fucking jump on the fucking train.
Yeah, very easier. Just sit back, get on the drink. You know.
Yeah.
You get there fucking pissed.
Well, an hour to get pissed. Yeah.
Oh, an hour, so right. We'll have a few. Kick back and relax.
Actually, in Chantaburi last night, went out to dinner and driving along, and I saw two blokes, two different, you know, not related, just in different areas, on fucking scooters or on their bikes with a fucking long neck in the other hand.
Well, you imagine seeing that here, be all over the sun, be on the front page of the Sunday fucking paper. Fucking crony Olympics there, what happened right then.
One was a Leo and the other was a Chun, but that has no relevance to the story. But
yeah.
I fucking looked over and old mate's just there. He's happy. He's like, man, one hand on the accelerator, the other hand holding the fucking long neck.
Yeah.
I thought I think the brake is on the on the other hand, so I don't know what he was going to do there if he had to stop in a hurry. Drop the bottle? Nah, fuck that. Hold on to the bottle.
Oh, it's a joke, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. See a lot of shit over there you'll never see here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually saw a, how would you explain it? One ute today coming back from Chantaburi in 110 zone. These guys were going maybe 80. One ute towing another broken ute, towing a rusted ute. So there were three in line, all roped together.
Oh, yeah. Good man.
In a high-speed zone.
You never seen that here.
Nah.
Fucking hell.
No word on the Princess, Joe?
No. We were actually talking about that last night. And, yeah, the family, I think, is the impression that there's something fishy's going on.
Something fishy.
Something fishy's going on.
Something fishy's going on, all right.
And then, when I briefed them to, what I knew, they said, well, how can a Falung know more than the Thai media?
What'd you say to that?
Well, I said, you've got to remember that, the people at the hospital and the people in the know can't go talking to the Thai media because of, you know, the situation in Thailand about talking about the, you know, the royal family and that sort of stuff. But talking to a Falunk, fucking the Falunk can run off and, you know, disclose whatever. He's not going to get in trouble, especially if he's overseas.
Yeah, they bloody, yeah. Oh, man.
Might go in soon. Watch me beloved D's. Gee, Collingwood played well last night. They came back at Geelong.
I only follow the Swans, and I see the Swans are up 34-7 at the moment against Gold Coast.
Oh, good luck to you. Wonder where Pete might still be down the club. Actually, I think he said he might jump on. You know, he was keen on jumping on tonight, but then they might have had a win. You know.
Well, you got a message that was going to be around or something, didn't he?
Yeah, I'll see if there's anything, if he's messaged or anything. I can't see anything from him.
Yeah, they will wait until after the election. Yeah, quite possibly. We've got Songkran coming up.
Yeah, put on. Sorry, they're not going to be able to make it tonight. Yeah.
They can't hide it forever.
Nah, it's all going to fucking come out eventually. No one's going to be held accountable. That's the part that shits me out when all that stuff comes out. Nobody ever gets fucking whacked for it.
Well, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, one of the congressmen actually made a public statement that it's only a matter of time before Mr. Fauci is behind bars. So I don't know.
Well, that's fucking hope, though. A lot of people died because of stupid fucking decisions made by bloody stupid fucking people.
Well, you know, Osama bin Laden was taken out because of, you know, 9/11. That was what, 3,500 people.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the actions of Mr. Fauci, you know, we're talking millions.
Exactly. Yeah, well, who was that bloody, I think of that Rand Paul. He says, you know, there's going to be a time when we could make you fucking answer questions that you won't answer now. My main question is, you know, where you be getting your bloody donations from? You know, he's going to have to fucking, you know, cough where he's got them all from, you know.
Close, Jack. Did not have his too close today.
Are you coming in now?
Not yet. Soon. That was it. The man. Good.
35 degrees. Yeah. It's 35, 36 degrees at the moment, I think. Yep. That'd be right, old mate.
Henry was there, but about supposed to be train, and they'll use it as an election profit. They wanted to build a train line from Pete to me from bloody Redcliffe. They've been talking about that since after the war. When they finally built the thing, it turned out to be a gigantic white elephant. No one used it, but might take a one day.
But the Australian East Coast definitely needs high speed, I think, from, you know, Brisbane, Sydney to Canberra to Melbourne.
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
It would make so much fucking sense. But it has made so much sense for a lot of years, hasn't it?
Indeed, Rico. Indeed.
Look at the fucking planes. You know, they're just fucking, you know, just turned into a gigantic mistake. You know, they can't organise anything, you know.
But the thing is, if, you know, they do have a high speed rail, is it going to be a competitive price? You know, as far as travelling to Melbourne to Sydney, what's the fare going to be? You know, like it should. You know, and,
Well, don't let the government fucking decide. But privatise the fucking thing, or have a portion of it privatised. Let it be run like a business rather than a government fucking asset. I mean, they end up selling off fucking everything,
Yeah, well, fucking
to
electricity.
private companies eventually, don't they? But if it was run as a private business, or certainly with private companies involved, I mean they want to get seats. They want to get bums on the seats. So if you fucking price it too high, your trains are going to be running empty. You can't make money.
yes, exactly.
Everybody privatises, so they privatise the electricity. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, but
You know,
but when they do that, when the government privatises, things like electricity, the government's got their fucking hand in it too. Don't worry about that. The government's taken a certain percentage of every fucking dollar that's spent.
exactly. Yeah, no, fucking yeah. But anyway, it's getting a bit fucking ridiculous. I got NB.
NB, g'day.
Meeting
Good on anyway.
going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof, but usually doesn't really. It's not really that much worse now than what it was a year ago. This can't go.
There's our mate.
Yeah.
G'day, Roo.
How you going, fellas?
There you go, mate.
How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Good. Haven't
Hey,
spoken
Kanga.
for a while.
Hey, how you been?
Is my how you going? Not too bad. Is my mic all right?
Yes,
Yeah.
mate. Fine.
Yep.
Yeah, too easy. I've just got the earpiece in. I'm on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Tablet.
So yeah,
Good
what's
buddy.
been happening? Suckhorn, I haven't spoken to you for a while.
Oh, yeah, we haven't spoken for a while, mate. I just chasing down a little bloke, mate. He just turned 15 the other day back, but he's got a new school he's got to attend, and sort of which is my old school I went to as a kid when I was his age, and it's sort of like it's his formative years at high school now. It starts to get pretty serious. But
Yeah.
he's got a lot of competition. He's around a lot of very, very smart kids.
Yeah.
It's
I couldn't believe when you said he travels 2 hours to school.
well, it's 2 hours at the moment because he's got to get a train, then a bus, and back on the train again. Normally, if there wasn't the bus involved, it'd only be an hour for him, to travel by train.
Yeah.
But that's still a lot. But it's 35 kilometres away, where his school is. But
reminds me of the stories. You back in the day, you'd hear from your parents. Back in the day, I used to walk fucking 50 miles to school and.
Oh, yeah. Left home.
on a Tuesday, he starts school at 7:30. They rehearse for the school orchestra. And he's in the school orchestra, or one of the bands. There, and they start rehearsal for at 7:30 for an 8:30 finish. I'm not waking up at 5:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning, to take him down to the station. At 5:30. To be at school at 7:30. So I drive him on a Tuesday. So it's it's a 40-minute drive in peak hour traffic, and 35 minutes back. But I don't mind. But the missus comes too. The missus comes along. I said, "What do you come for?" She said, "Just so I can watch how you're driving." Like,
Make sure you're all right.
yeah, just to make sure I'm all right. So it's a family. It's a family event. But until they service all the train lines, this is only going to be from I think it's mid-May or late May it finishes. So anyway, he doesn't seem to mind. He doesn't seem to mind, the little bloke. but it's a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit
it's good.
the
It's
money
good for him to
indeed.
get out and look and see other parts of the city that he lives in. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, spot on, mate. Spot on, Ray. Spot on. Oh,
No, about the same. Nothing much has been happening here. We went on holidays. Just the week been, and then the week before went to Kangaroo Valley. And that was a good experience. Haven't been there before.
you went up to the Whitsundays, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, went there just this week been up there for a
Oh,
little while.
lovely.
Bloody nice up there. I haven't been up there. Oh, I reckon maybe 15, 20 years since I've been up there, and it's definitely changed. I'll tell you that.
I was actually thinking, I thought, oh, that would have cost you a decent whack, to travel up to the Whitsundays. And I thought, oh, like he's paid for his airfare to go up to the Whitsundays and a week's accommodation. I thought, well, you most probably could have done a trip to Thailand, for the same money almost. I was thinking.
pretty much correct. But the only thing that was stressing me out, because we flew Shitstar. I was stressing the flights weren't going to happen.
Oh.
But it all went smooth, thank God.
Speaking to Pete yesterday, we went out for lunch, and we're thinking, oh, I might go to Thailand later on in the year, and but we're sort of, because of the boys' education, we've got to do it during school holidays. And Pete was saying that he was thinking of going over to Thailand on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. I said, oh yeah. I said the airfares will be expensive, won't they? And he said $1,200. $1,200. And I said, well, I said, I don't mind paying that. And he said that was with Thai.
Yeah, but that's early bird booking. You got to book, soon.
Yes,
if you leave it 1 month out, fucking
you're
try.
Twice,
yeah, easily. But if you book now, you should get an early bird discount.
Did you see Thai Air Asia are doing flights now? Thai Air Asia are doing flights from I know Sydney. I don't know about Melbourne or Brisbane.
With
they're
stopovers.
doing flights now. No, it's direct.
Direct. Oh shit.
Yeah, and they're actually priced all right. From what I saw, maybe people in the chat might have seen them as well. But yeah, they're definitely doing flights from Sydney now. I don't know what the flights will be like. Like I've flown Thai Air Asia, obviously domestic over in Thailand, but never international. I mean, they're all right domestic wise, but I don't know how the flight would be international.
Might be a bit like Shitstar.
Yeah, kind of get that vibe.
I've been lucky, I guess. I've flown Jetstar a couple of times, sort of domestically, and I think once to Thailand, but I won't I won't use them again. Like there's no need. I'd rather pay the extra money and fly Thai International. That's a massive difference in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's well worth it.
Yes, yeah. Although we went on one of those Airbus thing, I think it was an A350 or something like that. And 500 people on the flight, 550 people. And it was
A380, the big ones.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah, 550 people on the flight or something. I'll tell you what, it was spot the white man. It was it was a transit flight to Bombay or something, and Jesus. It was spot the white man. Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of the flights there with Thai Airways, and I think you get a few Indians on the flights and that. That are obviously transiting in Bangkok and flying off to wherever. I know if you fly with Emirates, that's obviously a transit to I think it's Dubai, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
They usually fly on to the United Kingdom or wherever they're going.
I think, but it's a big difference for us. Like when we travel to Thailand, like you don't mind a 9-10 hour flight. You know, g'day Pompey. You don't mind a 9-10 hour flight, but like the Poms, they got like it's a 20-hour flight or something. 22 hour flight. You've got to have a stopover, I think, in Dubai or something. But you can get cheap airfares from Melbourne to Melbourne to Thailand, Sydney to Thailand. But what's the point in having to stop over in Kuala Lumpur or Singapore for 2 or 3 hours? That makes it a long flight. It's all right if you're single, you by yourself. But
our flight over here was a stopover in Phuket. We were with Thai Airways, and at the time they weren't doing direct to Bangkok.
Yes, yeah.
We had to stop in Phuket, but only for an hour, and we weren't allowed off the plane. So we had to sit in the fucking plane for an hour.
That's a bit rough, especially flying into Phuket.
Yeah, but at least we were able to walk around. But that was still in the pandemic era, so you couldn't be walking around without a mask. You had to have your mask on at all times.
Yeah.
I flew to Thailand once with Singapore Airlines, and that was a transit flight, obviously in Singapore, and I think it was 2.5 hours in the airport, sitting there. Never do that again. It was obviously a cheaper flight, but yeah, it's definitely worth it. Just flying straight there with Thai Airways.
Indeed, totally right.
When we arrived at the airport, there was all the fucking media, people with fucking cameras and all these what looked like dignitaries in suits and shit, and people with the bird shit on their fucking shoulders and stuff. And they were handing out hats and fucking little fucking overnight bags, and what else? There was luggage straps and a couple of things. I thought, what the fuck's going on? Well, it turns out we were on the inaugural flight. We were on the first flight from Sydney to Phuket to Bangkok. But, okay. Wow. You fucking get to Phuket, you got to sit in the fucking plane for an hour. You can have your shit back.
Yeah, no, that's a bit rough. Yeah, flying into Phuket and they don't let you off.
Nah. Thought, let me go out and have a fucking durry. Nah.
Well, I did the shit star flight to Phuket once. I think I got return ticket was something ridiculous, like $480 return, and from memory, the flight wasn't too bad. Like, it was all on time, but obviously you feel all cooped up in the seat because they don't give you much room, and obviously you don't get the complimentary meal with it. So.
Yeah, you gotta have the meal. Fuck that. Meals.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't mind the old Thai Airways meals. They're all right.
That's just to trap you in the seat, though, isn't it? They give you a meal and you got to pull down like the little table in front of you, and then they put this thing on top of you, and like you can't move. You can't get out of the thing. Like you can't out of the person next to you. So you hang on to that for a while.
Yeah, it's
and if you
when you're 3 deep in and you finish your meal and the other two next to you are still going, you got to do a shit.
Yeah, but if you manage but if you manage to get out, if you manage to fucking escape the seat, you've then got to get down the fucking aisle. But there's a trolley fucking down the aisle, isn't there?
You can't get past the trolley. You know.
But we were actually lucky when we had our flight. There was fuck all people on. It was lucky to have been 50% full. So they pretty much, just as we were about to take off, they said you can sit wherever you fucking like, you know, just no drama. So yeah, we had plenty of room.
Oh, first world problems.
Yeah, good point, Ray. Good point.
G'day, Andy. Welcome. Andy's in Siem Reap.
There you go, Andy. Fucking Andy. Bloody modem.
G'day, Andy.
Your modem fucked up or dropped out.
Bloody tablet ran out of bloody. The tablet went flat, and then I bloody went to get up and come in there, and bloody the modem dropped out too. Fucking hell.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Turnbull. Grass.
Yeah.
Grass.
I'm getting swamped with bloody, things in the mail from NBN saying, oh, you want to, get a somebody who's going to bloody give you a good deal, sort of thing. Get a good package and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not going to change anything.
What's a good package?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
100 megabyte, 100 MPBS, whatever it is. MBPS.
You get 400.
400.
I'll see if I can find
400. Fuck, that's pretty good.
it. He's paying $80-100 for it. I'll just leave it the way it is. I get 50 now. That's enough for what I do. But
I pay $480 or $499. $480 or $499 for 500 up, 500 down.
Jesus.
Thanks, Mel. You bloody little beauty.
Yeah, it's a great river, isn't it? There's Thailand meant to be a developing, third world country. They've got SkyRail. We've got trams. Thailand's got 400 up. We've got, we've got 50 and 20. What a jet.
I can get 1,000. I can get 1,000 up and 1,000 down. I think that costs 700. I think 700 baht. But I don't need it. I don't need it. I've never had an issue with downloading, uploading, or anything like that. It's plenty. You can watch fucking HD, fucking 4K, fucking all that. No problem at all. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, we should definitely catch up, mate. If you're in the area, yeah, give us a tingle.
Have you seen the videos popping up online of the obviously backpackers or foreigners in Bali that are starting to give the cops a bit of stick when they're stopping on the bikes, not wearing helmets?
No.
And people are filming them. I'll tell you what, it's a game to do it over there.
Robbers.
I've seen some videos popping up online, and they're like, look at the Balinese people. You're just letting them pass with no helmets on, and they're getting stuck into them. I mean, rightly so, but I don't know if I'd be. I don't know if I'd be doing it there.
Oh shit! I said was having a sneeze.
I might make a move, fellas. Get him to spend a little bit of time with the terrace before it's his bedtime. We might watch a bit of the footy with each other, I think.
Yeah, no,
yeah, all good.
Good to see you, young Ray, and old Ray, of course. And check you soon, Joe. Good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, we'll check you all soon. Have a nice.
See you, Jono.
Take care, Jono. Good.
Take care. Take care.
Yeah, another bloody trip up to whereabouts did you actually go, Kanga? Up North Queensland?
Daydream Island.
Oh, yeah, bloody nice up there.
Yeah, it was really nice there.
Yeah, bloody lovely.
Yeah, flew into Hamilton Island and caught the ferry over.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, bloody Airlie Beach and stuff's nice. I got a mate lives up there. He sort of showed me around when I was up there, bloody. But yeah, the problem is that bloody everyone's trying to kill you in the ocean up there. You know.
Oh yeah.
Bloody, at least they haven't got. That's about the only thing they haven't got up there is sea lice.
Yeah. Well, because we were thinking of going for a swim, obviously at the beach, and they said, yeah, you got to wear your stinger suits.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
What the
bloody
fuck? And they
jellyfish.
go, yeah, fucking, you get stung by everything up here.
Yeah. Little candy jellyfish, they're not real fucking pleasant. They're bad. You even get crocs up there too. Bloody, you go out into the surf.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No. But it is nice.
I'll tell you what, flying into Hamilton Island, you just goes to show like those pilots that fly those planes. God, they got some skill because there's not much room to put it down and pull up.
No. I've never flown in there, but I've heard about it.
It's it all happens very quick.
Yeah. They like that up in the New Guinea Islands too. They got those little bloody. I saw a thing the other day. They landed a plane, in Dubai. Those bloody helicopter pads on top of one of those big high buildings. They had one of those little stunt planes. They landed it on a bloody must have been a big wind. They were going in against that big wind, and they landed the bloody thing on a helipad right at the top. It was only 2 days ago I saw that on TV.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see some skillful pilots? Check out Madeira, Madeira, Madeira Airport, which is the island where I was born.
Oh yeah.
You have a look at that. You have a look at them fucking landing there.
The fucking mountains there. I've seen the place.
If they can't overrun the airport, they'll end up in the drink.
I bet need a Harrier.
The runway.
You get a Harrier.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Nah. Yeah, it's scary.
Wasn't it back in the day? I think it was. Is the flying? I think it might have been Shanghai. I can't think of it. And you'd be flying in through the buildings.
Yeah, between the buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the. Yeah, it's one of those Chinese ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember speaking to a retired Qantas pilot, and he was telling me, he goes, "Yeah, you can literally wave to the people in the buildings."
Yeah, nah. Fuck that. There's a thrust when those things when they take off.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, old Hong Kong.
Yeah, right.
Oh, mate. Yeah,
That
that's
when they knocked the bloody, they built a new airport there, and they knocked the bloody, basically the top off one of the islands because they're all, just like a big lump sticking out of the bloody ocean, and they pushed it over the side, and they built a big platform on the side of on the hill there, sort of on the island, and they put the new airport there, and then they, to get people into Hong Kong, they basically had to, there's roads, there's bridges, and there's fucking tunnels and everything just to get the cars back to bloody Hong Kong.
The Chinese don't seem to have a problem creating land.
No,
creating islands, and
just hope they stay fucking,
it's all for research,
building
of course.
buildings, building these massive apartments with no one in them.
Like the Japanese. Oh yeah, I saw that, the big Ponzi scheme. Yeah, I saw that. Fucking hell. No, well,
There's a waste of money on that.
yeah, people try and get their money out of the bank and they can't get it because they've already spent it for them. Nah. Even here, I'm starting to get a bit fucking thinking twice about putting too much money in the bank.
Well, I think in Australia you're safe up until is $250,000 or 100,000.
I don't know.
I think there's a limit in the bank deposits where the government guarantees your deposits.
Yeah, well, they're the ones that worry me. I think when they had a recession, they were dipping into people's bloody money, weren't they?
Yeah, that's the only scary thing about it.
See, Andy.
See, Andy.
See, Andy, have a good
What's
time.
the thing about that super? the super thing they're trying to bring in as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously the
what's
people got
that
a fair
about?
bit of super. It's I don't know the exact ins and out of it, but it's got to do with obviously being taxed. So
Mm.
I think it's either 2 million or 3 million. You got your super. You're going to be taxed double the rate, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
I think that's how it's going to work.
Yeah,
But obviously, they're not. The argument is they're not open to aligning it with inflation. So as wages go up, people that are in their 20s and they go to retire when they're 65, they're going to have a lot more super than, say, someone like me and you.
For sure.
And they're just about going to hit that benchmark. So they're going to be copping this super tax that was brought in fucking 50 years ago, and they're not willing to adjust it with inflation as time goes on. Is my understanding of it.
Yeah, right.
See, my understanding of politics was that they were voted in by the people, and they were there to serve the people.
Yeah.
It seems that they're just in it for themselves. These motherfuckers give themselves, pay rises every 10 months.
Of course they do.
And just
100%. It's the biggest farce you could ever think of.
Yeah.
They're all retiring on massive pensions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that much money every year gets fucking spent on bloody politicians, bloody pensions, there's a lot of money.
Or to stand up in Parliament for a few years and blow shit out their ass that means nothing.
Have a look.
And they get on a good pension.
Hey, Jay, just Google bloody Peter Dutton's net worth.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, well, I think it said $300 million bloody dollars or something.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't even take a fucking wage. But I don't know. I've seen contradicting ones, but I think that's in because his wife's got a lot of bloody childcare centres and stuff, apparently. But I don't know.
It's funny how that their families always seem to make good business decisions.
Oh, yeah, look at bloody look at what's that? Nancy Pelosi. The husband.
Oh yeah, the Pelosi's. Yeah. Fuck.
Hey, she done the boogaloo. She's quiet, didn't she? Pulled her head in. Fucking hell.
Yeah, she's quiet, but I think they're thinking of pulling her back in for some of these hearings.
I hope so.
Yeah, fucking, she deserves to be, especially the January 6th committee, because there's claims from the DC police that they actually requested help from Pelosi, and she refused it.
Yeah, exactly.
She told the DC police, no, just fucking, you don't need help. You don't need, the National Guard or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
Put a big steel fence around the Capitol.
Mm.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, don't build a wall. Trump's wall is bad. That's really, really bad. But we'll build a wall around the fucking Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
We'll keep the Americans out.
AOC going, oh no, they were trying to kill me. She wasn't even in the same fucking building. It was fucking half a mile away. Fucking idiots. Fucking down there. When bloody Trump was in, she was down there on the bloody those detention centres near the border crying and like that. Fuck me, look at it now. Jesus, but anyway, whatever. Look at that bloody trail derailment over there in bloody East Palestine. Fucking terrible. They're doing nothing. The only time they got any bloody got to move their asses when Trump went down there and Pothole Pete was down there the next day trying to, put an appearance in here. He fucking had to get him. Got to clear that prick. Fucking hell.
You get China Catter.
Oh, good.
Who's China Catter?
Is
that Bob Catter, or is that who he's referring to?
Yeah, Bob Catter and his son. His father was, I think his son's a third generation in the same seat. His fucking father was in it before that, apparently. Bob Catter.
Bob Catter.
Yeah, Bob Catter. That's it.
Yeah.
So you have you still got to do this bloody voting shit, Joe?
No, if I'm overseas, I don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to.
I think that, like there's a time requirement. If you're out of the country 1 month before or something, or it might even be 3 months before, you don't need to vote.
Ah, okay. Well, I remember last time when we had the federal election here, me and the missus were in Thailand for I think it was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just sent a thing off for both of us,
Yeah.
saying we won't be here, and I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it should be fine because the last time we were required to vote, I got online and did a bit of research, and if you're overseas 3 months before the election or something, you don't have to vote, and you don't get penalised. So
yeah, well, we would have had to vote, but I just said we're going to be absent, obviously, because we were away at that time, and they never said anything about doing like a postal thing or anything, and I haven't heard anything about it. So
you can do online banking. You can do many things online, but you can't vote online. I don't get that.
And you'd think it'd be the most secure way to do, wouldn't you?
Well, you can do everything online. You can transfer fucking millions of dollars. You can buy assets. You can do everything online, but you can't vote online.
Yeah, crazy, eh? Well, on Facebook,
because we got voting here, obviously, next weekend, and I went and did the early vote today. And always makes me laugh because you walk in and there's the people out the front handing these fucking pamphlets out, and you go over there and you see the Greens, and they got a handful of pamphlets, and you're just like, you fucking idiots! Like your whole thing is, you want to save the planet.
Hypocritical, hypocritical.
Yeah, save the planet, and dance over a rainbow.
Well, it's a bit like these fuckwits that end up going to the WEF. We want to save the planet, and they all arrive in fucking private jets.
That one gets me. Exactly. The one screaming the loudest, they should be over in fucking China, screaming about the coal-fired power stations over there. Don't worry about us over here. We're not a threat.
I don't remember the news network now. Someone called Bill Gates out on that, saying that he's pro fucking climate change and all this sort of shit and saving the environment, and yet they reckon he's one of the highest polluters in the world with his private jet. So but you've got to understand that I offset that with donations. Fuck off.
Donations goes a long way.
That big wind farm they built off the coast of America, they're all those bloody big whales that migrate are fucking washing up on the beach dead. They're really doing a lot for the fucking environment. That bloody that train, that bloody derailed in bloody Ohio. Fucking birds are dropping out of the sky. There's no fucking live fish.
East Palestine.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible. That shit, they bloody just real mention it. And, look, none of them are there, bloody screaming about that.
You see, I don't know if you know, there's a YouTuber called Benny Johnson, an American. He set up shop outside the National Transport Office. And he set up a little fucking table, and he's selling bottles of water. And he's got signs up genuine East Palestine water, because the government's saying that it's all good. Nothing to worry about. The water's safe to drink and everything's fine in East Palestine. So he's selling bottled water from East Palestine. Of course, no one's buying it.
Yeah, of course. But he look at that.
That's how good. I'm voting for Perrottet in New South Wales. Only he can protect the eastern suburbs from the fucking westies by constructing
More toll roads.
Yeah. That bloody yeah, I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's true, but if it happens all the time, as soon as Labor gets in, all that construction just comes to a halt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just when they were run rapid. I think what's his name? But if they kept to get the NBN going, and then bloody Turnbull got in and stopped it, it would have been a good thing, But they fucking stopped it.
Yep.
Bloody run.
Well, it was fibre to the house. That's what it was originally intended to be. It was fucking fibre optic all the way to your fucking to your modem.
Yeah.
And no. We can save $200 million by doing it fibre to the node.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. All right. So you got the votes because you want to save money. Look what you end up with.
Yep.
Fucking joke.
Yeah. $400 million to fix the mistake up.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They can't look past the next election, these clowns.
But I've got fibre all the way to the house.
I don't.
And
yeah. Well, yeah. New houses.
Change it.
Yeah.
I still get shit speeds.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and I pay for good internet, and it's nothing like the speed you get in Thailand.
Yeah, mine's dropping out all the time, man. It's giving this show. I want to get onto them actually, and buddy. The modem's years old. Maybe it's a new modem. I don't know. But apparently, they I was just talking to a mate of mine about, they want me to get a deal and all this. He says, well, they've run bloody fibre optic past the house. Now they're going to run it into the, put a box on the side of the bloody house, So, but I'll just stay with, looking on with Optus, so I'm just going to stay with them and just fuck it, But I don't want any, I don't need any more speed than what I got. It works fine. As long as it doesn't drop out all the time, I'm happy,
Well, in Canterbury, what we did, we just bought a generic modem and put a fucking AIS 5G SIM card in it.
Oh yeah.
Plugged it into the wall, for power, because there's no fucking cabling coming in. And I can watch YouTube. I can play all my fucking games and shit on my phone. The missus can use her laptop. No fucking drama. And that's out. That's considered rural Thailand.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, well, Big W mentioned Starlink. I got a mate who got that about 2 months ago, and he's getting ridiculous speeds. He's got it works like with an app on your phone. He's got it on the side of his house because he lives on a property, and he just logs on the app. The thing does a little twirl around, looks for the satellite, and the speeds he's getting are ridiculous.
Was it very
never
expensive?
Drops out.
Is it very expensive?
I think he's paying. You would have seen advertisers. I think it's $149 a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we haven't had
It's
it
expensive, but it's for people who live out rural properties and places like that.
They've been at a war with bloody with Telstra for years, trying to get bloody get lines out there, or NBN out there to get bloody lines, get some internet.
NB, get a good package with AIS and hotspot everything. Yeah. Well, we had a shop up until a month ago in Chatuchak, around Chatuchak, and all we did was hook up there with the AIS Super Wi-Fi. So they have these transmitters, throughout the city, where you can just log in and you hook up to their what they call the super Wi-Fi, and it's fucking plenty quick.
Yeah, wow. See, that's what I mean. Like the technology there,
Yeah.
they put the time and effort into it, and then you look at like the CBDs of Sydney and Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, all of them, and they got nothing like that.
No. No, well, up until recently, you get the only way you can get 100 megabytes a second is to go into Brisbane, into the capital, sort of thing, and then hook up there and get the maximum speed. But now, I'll get down the shopping centre down there and just on data on my phone, I'll get 120 just in the shopping centres. When COVID was on, you'd be flat out you could barely open any bloody thing up. Actually, we were lucky to get 5.
Oh, no, yeah, everyone's at home.
Yeah.
The only time I've had an issue with the internet was the fucking World Cup during the World Cup semi-finals. Fucking, I just couldn't get the fucking internet to work, and it went on for about 20 minutes or so. But then, luckily it came back online, so I missed the first 20 minutes of the fucking game. I was ready to kill someone.
I remember that time when you were doing one of your streams, Joe. I remember it had that electrical storm.
Oh yeah, the modem
everything off.
That was in Port Stephens. Had fucking electrical
Joe's
storm come over, and the fucking modems, the fucking sparks came flying out of the modem. Fuck. I think we're dead. We're dead. Yep, we've lost everything.
Yeah, fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, it's a bit like that,
Fibre to the house is old tech. It is now.
Well, it's only a matter of time before Starlink, things like Starlink will take over.
Yeah.
Oh, it has to, mate. The speeds he gets and like with no interruptions, it's going to be the way of the future.
Yeah.
We're all going to have a little, fucking dome on the side of our house that just get everything off.
Yeah, that's Elon Musk. He's behind all that Starlink, isn't he?
Yeah. He's behind Starlink.
What the fuck they hate him so much for? Like he's fucking. I think he's just
because he likes transparency. That you can't have transparency when you're pushing a narrative.
The fucking lefties, they just get nuts when they mention his name. What the fuck? No. You want some of that? I think I sent you a thing. I've got a few pictures of Big Jim. Do you want them, Joe?
Yeah. Send them to me. I'll do something with them.
Yeah, I just wasn't too sure whether you. In a second, when I get off here, I'll send them. Yeah, there are a few there. I didn't know.
Yeah, I haven't decided what yet.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sure I can do something with them.
Sure whether you had any, Good old Jim. Yeah, that was a bit bloody. The other night when you had the stream, it was fucking good, Jimmy. He would have been there with bells on, waiting for old man so we can boot him.
Shit.
Time him out. That used to crack me up. We just saw him seal. Take 5.
Take 5.
Take 5. Oh, that cracked me up, eh?
What stream was
Take
that?
5 on the music stream the other night. I mentioned Big Jim because Big Jim was one of my biggest fans. I think with the music streams, he was always there.
Yeah.
And what Ray was referring to was when old man used to come on and say g'day or something, and fucking Big Jim would fucking take 5, old man. You coont, you fucking coont.
Mate, he just did it just to, I think too. Every chance he got, I could laugh.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed that stream.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. I've got a couple lined up. Should happen in the next few days. I might put it up. getting raunchier, but we seem to have survived the last one, so should be okay.
W said, been away for 20 minutes. Did my comment about Keating being on the CCP payroll get discussed?
No, we didn't discuss it, but I did read your comment. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it to have a discussion about it, but I'm not surprised. You know, if it was shown to me that is in fact true, I would not be surprised. I mean,
I'm surprised he's still fucking alive.
I follow the American politics at the moment, and yeah, that would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, someone's always got the hand of someone else's fucking pocket these days, that's for sure. Oh, looking for something. Oh, that's right, Jim. Yeah, it's bloody, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Never bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, well, you know, they're fucking, it's like these bloody climate summits sort of, you know, you got this Klaus Schwab and bloody Bill Gates turn up. They're not fucking elected officials, you know. And there they are. You got all these fucking politicians just sucking up to them, hoping they're going to get a job, often basically when they leave bloody politics or whatever, you know, or, I don't know. Klaus Schwab. You will have
No
nothing.
jobs for the boys.
Oh, yeah. You will have nothing and be happy. Fuck me. What is with these people? They want everything, you know, like, fuck me. That's great.
Here you go, Joe. Comment for you from NB.
I personally haven't been affected by it. I can see it. I can smell it. I'm not, you know, I'm sure it is affecting people. Definitely affecting people. I mean, last week when I went into the hospital, a lot of the people were there for respiratory, you know, issues. And in the news, you know, there's been talk of some, you know, very old and frail people maybe having a really rough time with it. I've been in Chanterbury for the last, you know, 3 to 4 days, and yeah, it wasn't an issue. I could definitely see the difference in air quality. Just got back a couple of hours ago. Being a Saturday, it's not too bad, but it's still, it's not blue skies. You know, you look up at the sky, the sky's not blue. And when you see, you know, the sun going down, yeah, reminds me of the, you know, the bushfire season in Australia. Whenever we had, you know, bushfires in Australia, and you get that orangey coloured sun.
Yeah, haze.
You know, trying to push through the haze.
Yeah.
But
Wow, 200,000 tyres admitted to hospital.
yeah. As I said,
Didn't even
about
know.
a week
So is
ago,
it really bad over there at the moment?
Oh yeah, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, wow.
It's been pretty bad. I when I walk out in the morning, if it looks too bad, we just cancel. Fuck it, we're staying indoors. Turn the air on, close everything up. We'll fucking get Grab. We need anything, just get Grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm there, if it's too bad, I just, you know, I hang around for 3 days and then I start wheezing pretty bad and I get out to go do something else somewhere else for a while, you know. And you come back, but there's just so much to do in Bangkok, you know. I want to fucking spend more time there.
But you know, apparently Chiang Mai's been pretty bad too.
Yeah, well, they're doing the burning, are they?
But it's not just Thailand. Like Cambodia does a lot more burning, and you know, Vietnam and surrounding, you know, Laos and Myanmar, and they all do it.
Yeah, it all depends on which way the wind's blowing.
And Bangkok cops are bad because Bangkok's just fucking flat. You know, it's just a fucking swamp. So it's, you know, it just fucking comes into Bangkok and it just stays.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, like, since the first time I went to Thailand, like I remember back in the day, you'd be driving along the highways and you just see burn-offs everywhere. It's very rare, like nowadays, that I see that. Like, it's
yeah,
not,
but
it's
I actually
not happening as much.
I read an article a few days ago that claims that there's just as many burning going on now than there was, 3-4 years ago, because the government apparently threw, I don't know, 8 billion baht at it or something to pay farmers not to burn, but they're claiming that didn't work. They're now asking questions where all that money went.
Shock me.
Imagine if Trump was in charge when Putin made the move.
Wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have done it.
I've often thought about that.
Yeah,
I don't know if Trump would have been able to stop it, but I don't think we would have seen the involvement of the US in that situation as is happening today.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if he could have stopped it, because look, if you get away from the mainstream media narrative on what's happening up there, you got to remember that when the Berlin Wall came down, there was a treaty that NATO would not move anywhere closer, not 1 inch closer towards Russia. And, the USSR and all that sort of shit fucking fell apart. And, well, where are they now? They're literally on their border. They're literally there. So NATO has been expanding all this time, getting closer and closer and closer to Russia. For what reason? Oh, to protect Europe. Okay. If roles were reversed and Russia found themselves with fucking military bases in Mexico, how do you think the Americans would be reacting? If China, had military bases in fucking East Timor, how would Australia be responding? And it's funny. Every news report, major news report over the last fucking year, an unprovoked. Why do they keep using that unprovoked word? Unprovoked, really? You really want to push that fucking that narrative that Russia was unprovoked? I don't know.
It seems like the story. The story I got early on, the bloody piece, I don't know if it's fucking true or whatever, but he just didn't want NATO involved. And he said, if you don't talk to NATO, nothing will happen. And they fucking pushed it. And apparently Ukraine was talking to him about it, and then bloody America got involved. But that's what I heard, but I don't.
Well, there were peace talks agreed, back in, I could have the dates wrong, let's say March last year. Peace talks, a treaty had been verbally agreed to by the Russians and the Ukrainians. But then within days, fucking, what's his face, the fucking gollywog from England made his way over to to see Zelensky and said no peace talks, no treaty. Yeah, that cunt. Boris, that's him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
The new one or the old one?
G'day, Joe Ford.
No, the old one. G'day, Joe Ford. Welcome.
Yeah, Joe. I can't believe they got one impeaching.
Every time I saw him on TV, I always used to think, what a mess. Go get a haircut. Bloody Boris.
Oh, yeah. Brush his hair at least. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking well crazy.
And what are they up to now with the aid to Ukraine? Is it $100 billion or something now?
Oh, they're bloody up.
Seriously, $100 billion?
Yeah. Bloody that what's her name? Janet Yellen. She was over there the other day with another big fucking check. There's
that
no
type of shit pisses me off. Like
Everyone's
all that money they throw at fucking war, but they can't even look after their own people. They got people getting thrown out of their houses or homeless people on the streets.
Mhm.
They can't even fucking eat and survive, but they're there throwing money at fucking other countries.
I think Ukraine's been in fucking war since. I think it was Ukraine was they made it a country in fucking in the 60s or some bloody thing, or after the war, sometime after the war. But just about all the time they're at war with somebody, whether themselves or somebody else. You know, or they're bloody.
The 2014 election in Ukraine.
Yeah.
If you look that up, and you know, don't watch a report on CNN.
No,
You know, do some research into what happened over there in 2014.
it was corruptly good.
The Americans had a lot to do with what happened in 2014, and then you have Crimea, as old mate just wrote in the comments. Crimea ? Again, do your research into Crimea. Stop listening to the fucking mainstream propaganda fucking bullshit that they feed you, and if you do a bit of digging, you will find the truth.
Uh-huh.
And the shit that happened since 2014.
Well, they did.
The Americans won't stop until Russia's destroyed.
Mm.
And if they think that, yeah, and there's no reason for them to lie about that. What are they going to achieve by lying about that? The Americans went in there and they fucking, they do what the Americans do. They get involved in fucking country politics for their own benefit, and they overthrow governments. I mean, America's got a history of doing that.
Yeah. Oh, look at Middle East. Fucking hell.
Well, yeah, the Middle East. Yeah.
Wasn't that a disaster?
Yeah.
So,
well, weapons of mass destruction. Remember that?
Yeah.
Took away.
How many people were killed? Oh, and nobody's gone to jail for it. Nobody's been fucking held accountable.
No one. Exactly. Never found anything.
And they blamed on that guy. What was his name?
Dick Cheney.
Osama bin Laden.
Oh,
No, the guy in is it Iran?
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein.
Yeah. Saddam Hussein,
weapons of mass destruction.
He ruled with an iron fist. He was a dictator.
Yeah.
But look around the world. Look how many fucking countries are run that way, and
Some of them need to be run that way. But bloody,
sometimes.
Well, Dick Cheney, he was the CEO of the fucking company that supplied all the bloody the food and the bloody the drinks and the transport and everything for the soldiers and for the army in bloody in Iraq. They Gulf War. Now bloody Tony Blair and bloody I think it was George Bush. They were major fucking shareholders in the company too. So I don't know, whatever.
Well, these sanctions have worked out well for America and the West, haven't they? The Russian economy is as strong as it's ever been. Their fucking ruble is, sky high. They've found new partnerships around the world. The BRICS nations alliance is getting stronger. They're now talking about, getting selling all their oil reserves or not reserves, but the oil and energy, getting the dollar away from the oil, the fucking US dollar to the barrel. They use the US dollar to calculate the fucking cost of oil and shit. And the Chinese and the Russians are fucking doing it. They're selling their oil and energy to other partners, and they're not using the US dollar. So how is this working out for the Americans? Look at the American economy. Look at the fucking the status of their inflations. They got banks fucking going under. Is that happening? Is that happening in Russia? No.
Look at inflation in here in Australia, and They're the same in United Kingdom and all that. Like, it's fucking,
Yep.
Yep.
Now, Europe was getting cheap fucking energy, cheap gas, cheap fucking oil, all that shit from fucking Russia. Americans got involved because the Americans now want to sell the gas to, Europe.
Mm.
Now the fucking cost of energy in Europe has gone fucking sky high.
Yeah.
Yeah, sanctions working out real well. You're bringing down Russia. Of course you are.
Yeah, it's hard to fucking listen to, isn't it?
Well, fucking Russia doesn't have to sell to fucking Europe now.
not to mention the price
And-
of fucking fuel.
But I bet you the fucking price of fuel is cheap in Russia.
Oh yeah.
China's put their hand up. We want fucking oil. We want oil from Russia. We want coal from Russia. We want gas from Russia. India's put their hand up. India, fucking, how many billion people have they got? India is up and coming. Maybe 20 years, 30 years from now, people are going to start fucking taking notice of India. The countries that are hurting from all these sanctions are fucking Europe and America. And, to some point, anyone attached to them through the Western world, be it Australia, Canada, places like that, New Zealand, fucking Russia. They've still got cheap gas. They've still got cheap fucking energy.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to head off.
G'day, Crowy. Yeah, I'm probably going to do the same. I've got family member downstairs waiting. I think they want to have dinner.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm going to go watch a movie with the missus.
So the Swannies are up 61-27.
Mm. How many more
All right,
episodes?
gentlemen, everyone in the chat.
Hey,
I'll,
Kanga, how many
I'll
more
talk to you
episodes
soon.
of Kanga?
Yo,
How many more episodes of that bloody Last King of the Cross is there, do you know?
they've got 6 episodes out so far.
Oh, right, so they're going to have more. Yeah, I got the other one last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
I think they, yeah, I don't mind the show, eh?
Yeah.
I think it'll be out. One comes out every Friday.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I'd
Pumpui
rather-
got me onto it.
What's that, sorry?
Pumpui got me onto it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm.
I bloody, I was going to say, yeah, I drove through there in about 1995. Oh, what a fucking pit. I didn't even pull over, I just kept going.
Just shit off.
Before you shoot off, that documentary I sent you, was that the Oliver Stone one?
I think so.
Which was that one?
Okay, yeah. For anyone that's interested in the chat, that documentary on Ukraine, what happened in 2014 election and the involvement of the Americans, that was directed by Oliver Stone.
Yeah, I saw that.
You have to watch it through the internet. I don't think it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I think
For
you're right.
obvious
I think you're right.
reasons.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was good to see that. Yeah, I saw that. That was interesting.
I don't remember what it was called, but
Yeah, I can't remember. It's
It's
a good one. It was through like one of those movie websites.
yeah. If you Google Ukraine documentary by Oliver Stone, I'm sure something will come up, and you'll just have to do your own digging. And it is available on some websites. I think you can pay for it on places like Amazon, and
I watched it for nothing. Might be able to.
Yeah. I ended up watching it for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. The link you sent me, it was a freebie.
Oh, it's fucking getting warm here. We'll get back in the aircon.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, no worries. Catch you later. I'm going to
Good
head off
chat.
too.
Good chat.
Yeah.
Everyone in the
Very
chat.
good. Yep. Take care, everyone.
Yeah. See you later, chat. See you later, Joe. See you later, Ray.
See you
Yeah.
next time. Bye.
Yeah. Let me finish it all.